Good morning, everyone. It's me again. Just thought I'd do another little talk. Right now, the topic for this talk is you're not what you think you are, because what you think you are is your own thinking, and not what you really are. All right. So, if you understand that already, yeah, there's no point in you watching the rest of this video because you already know what you are. Right. If however you don't and you're interested, right, I'm fully well aware, right, that this kind of topic is not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone is either ready to understand such things, or they're generally just not interested. So, if you're one of those people, I'd highly advise don't even bother continuing watching it, because you don't want to know. Yeah, you're not ready to know and you don't want to know. So, that is what it is. However, for those that are, right, what I'm going to do is I'll briefly outline what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go through a Buddhist thought process, or it's a process typically used by Buddhism, which is a process of self-negation, which relates to a principle of impermanence. Right now, impermanence is pretty much the fact that no second in your life is ever the same. Right, everything's temporary. Right, if I slap myself, right, I'm no longer feeling a slap. Do you know what I mean? Sensations, emotions, thoughts, feelings, perceptions. All these things, right, are just like little flashes, right, in time. Do you see what I mean? They happen and they disappear, right? So it's pretty much relating to that, and then going through the process of change, of impermanence, of continual change, and recognizing that you are not what changes. You are that which is behind all change, which witnesses all change. Now, for those that aren't acquainted with such deep thinking, right, that right there is why I'm going to have to go into it, because you probably won't understand that. It'll be like shooting a bullet through the head, like, what are you talking about, mate? so anyway, pretty much typical process of Buddhism thought, right, of self-negation, is recognizing what you're not. All right, so everything that changes, they say, is what you're not, right? And the only thing that ever changes is the fact that everything changes. All right, so, and you're not that. You're not what changes, right? You're what witnesses what's changing, right? So like, most people think that they are the physical body, right? However, from the minute you're born to the minute you die, right, the body is continually changing, continually, right? It's never not changing, right? It's a completely dynamic thing. Parts of it are being broken down, parts of it are being rebuilt. Do you know what I mean? Like you are completely different now to when you were a baby, right? You no longer have the body of a baby, so the whole of your body has changed. However, you have experienced, right, your body changing. So where Buddhism comes in, it says you cannot be that body, because that's changing. You're deep down, what you really are is what's witnessing, or what has witnessed your body changing. All right. Same with other deeper elements, such as emotions. Emotions come and go, do they not? Like, think of a feeling you had yesterday, right? Where's that feeling today? Yeah, I don't know if anyone, like, a typical experience is people listen to music, like, and they really enjoy the music. Once the music stopped, or a few minutes later, where's that feeling? Do you see what I mean? It's not to knock it. It's not to say that it's not a nice feeling, or it's not a good thing to do. Right? That's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying these things don't have a place, because they do have a place. They wouldn't have a place if, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to experience them if there wasn't a place for them. But it's not to say, what it's really pointing at is not to hold on to these things, right? Don't grasp hold of these things, because they don't last. Appreciate them while they last, yeah, but don't hold on to them, because if you hold on to them, you're just setting yourself up for either wanting more or being disappointed when you don't get exactly the same thing the next time, because nothing's ever the same. Do you see what I mean? So so emotions, right? Thoughts, right? Every thought is just like a little flash, right? It comes and goes, right? It's like a flicker of a flame, yeah. So so talk to yourself in your head. Like, just say something in your head. Like, I'll give you a few moments to say something, preferably kind. Say something like nice about someone or yourself. So in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So notice the fact that every word that you just said, right, disappeared the moment you said it. Did it not? Like, you've only got to recognise the fact that thoughts and the actual words that I'm talking, right, so the words coming out of my mouth are being initiated by my mind, right, so thought process is turning into a physical sounding vibration, right, because I'm thinking about what I'm saying before I say it, right, so it's cause up in the mind, effect as in the physical sound that you hear, which has some kind of meaning. Do you see what I mean? So listen to the sound of my voice and recognise the fact that with every word that I say, it disappears as soon as I've said it. As soon as you hear it, and that brief little perception that you get, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's all a temporary thing that carries some kind of temporary meaning and weight behind it to create some kind of temporary understanding. Do you see what I'm pointing at? So if I break it down, right, if you can be aware that your body changes, right, and listen to, there's a clue in that, if you can be aware, right, if you can be aware that your body changes, right, if you can be aware of your emotions coming and going, or certain emotions coming and going, if you can be aware that your thought process is coming and going, you know, you can witness your own thought process, you can witness your emotions, you can witness your body changing, yeah, you can witness time and, you know, the motion of everything around you changing. You know, you've only got to look at a cloud to realise the only real moment is right now. Do you know what I mean? Because everything's like past, future, like, doesn't really exist in this actual direct conscious experience, right? So if you can recognise such facts, right, what you will become aware of, and there's the same clue again, is that you are the awareness, right, that quality of awareness which witnesses all these things changing. Do you see what I mean? If you can witness your own thought process, your own mind, if you can be aware of the activity of your own mind, you can't be your own mind. You're what's further back, you're deeper than that. You're what's aware of the process of your mind. Likewise, if you can be aware of your own emotions, or if you can be aware of your own physical body, the changing physical body, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm moving my hand, right? Now, God knows how many different changes are occurring there, right? Loads. Like, if you know anything about anatomy and physiology, right, it's absolutely mental how complicated that can be, yeah? But I'm aware of that, so all that's changing. However, you know, the awareness of that, right, is just there, always. If you're not self-aware, right, how can you recognise anything? First and foremost, you have to be aware of something to recognise it. If you're not aware of it, then you can't recognise it. Just see what I mean? So like, you have to be in this actual waking state of consciousness to witness anything around you. When you're in deep sleep, right, where's the world as you know it right here, right now? Where's space and time as you experience it right here, right now? It's not. So first and foremost, right, you have to recognise that you are that quality of awareness. So that's typically, now when I say such things, or when people say such things, like, there tends to be like sometimes there tends to be like a little bit of a negative reaction. I wouldn't say naturally negative, it's more of like a, ooh, do you know what I mean? Like they step back a bit, like they can't. It's a bit much to take in, kind of a reaction, like especially if someone's heavily identified with their personality. Right now, if you can change your personality, or you can witness your personality changing, right? You're not your personality. You have to be what's deeper, what's behind that, witnessing your personality changing, and also what can change it. Because I can change the way I act. Do you know what I mean? I could, like me talking to you here right now, if I wanted to, I could start flipping out and getting all angry for no reason, right? Not like I could start acting like that. I'm not going to. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying I could. Yeah, I could. Start. That's what actors do. They put on a personality. Why can people change their personality, and people change and actors act like something they're not? It's because there's no real substance there. Because the real substance that they are is that which is deeper, which is aware, which can witness the change and change it itself. Do you see what I mean? So there's a whole like deeper element of people way back in the background, right? Where most people are completely focused on the act, right? They're focused on the illusion of themselves, and they're not completely like. You can't say that they don't have a foundation in that deeper element, because you can't not, right? That's you. It's not like it's never not you, right? It's always you. It's just more the fact that this is the act and this is that, right? It's identified. So instead of being here, having some distance and recognising that this is an illusion, and then this moves it about, right? These hand movements ain't doing anything justice, right? But do you know what I mean? Like a puppet, this is the puppeteer, this is the puppet, right? So this is moving. If this is identified with that, right, it's all a bit rocky. Do you know what I mean? People with unstable emotions, thoughts, and such things, right, they're heavily identified with all the negativity and all the motion of their own mind and their emotions, right, and they don't perceive that distance. They don't perceive that they're this element that's way back over here, right? They think they're all this limited negativity going on. So same with people that are depressed. Majority of people, depression, right, is just repetitive negative thinking. Everyone has negative thoughts, right? Everyone has positive and negative thoughts, right? They come and go, do they not? Do you know what I mean? There's no ultimate substance there. The minute you have a negative thought, the minute it disappears. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was to think of something terrible that's happened in my life right now, right? Now I'm no longer thinking that. Do you know what I mean? It's come and gone. There's no substance to it anyway. It's not happening right here, right now. So just see what I mean? So the majority of people with depression, are heavily identified with their own negative thinking. And then what they do is they think they're depressed. They say to themselves, I've got depression. But that's another thought in itself. So not only are they having negative thinking, but they're also thinking they're depressed. So it's just thinking on top of thinking, and because they're identifying with it, they're just completely confused, and they keep themselves in that negative mental and emotional state. And until they realise that all these things are temporary, and that the majority of what they're worried about isn't even happening right now, it's not a reality, then they're going to continue to be depressed, because that's what happens. That terrible things happen in everyone's life, just that some people take longer to get over such things, because everyone eventually kind of gets over them. Well, some people don't, some people hold on to them, but that's kind of what I'm trying to, this is what I'm trying to point out, is that why hold on to such things when they don't exist. It's not so if you've lost a loved one, you don't have to completely forget about them, but it's to recognise the reality that, it's a loss. You can't really perceive it as a loss, because nothing disappears. Do you know what I mean? It's all there in the universe. It's all the same thing interacting within itself. So if a person dies, the body and that, as you hopefully understand, the body, the mind of that person, the emotion, the personality, that's down in the dirt. It's ashes probably. If they've been cremated, it's a load of ashes. Right, no longer exists. However, the actual real essence of that person, that's still there. That's still knocking around. Do you see what I mean? So there's never a loss. There's never a real loss. You can only perceive a real loss based on the illusion of that person, of especially with yourself. There's people perceive an illusion because they're tied up to that illusionary self. They're perceiving as though it's real when it's not. It's comes and goes. So that's quite deep. That's just something for people to think about. But yeah, so pretty much you are that quality of awareness. So I'm going to get even deeper, right, in terms of talking about states of consciousness. Right now, if you can be aware, you're aware right now. Yeah, what awareness are you? The awareness that's aware that it's aware, or the awareness, do you know what I mean, or that awareness, or is it one and the same thing? So hopefully, right, that can confuse the absolute poo out of someone. Good, and I hope it does, because the part of you that gets confused about that is the part that you want to recognise as not being you, right? So that's just me putting that out there. So so dream state of consciousness. If you're aware that you're dreaming, which can be, or sometimes you're just carried away with dreaming, right? But it seems no more real than this, or it seems as real as this experience, right? You can't be that the illusions that are happening there, right? You're what's witnessing that, right? If you can go into deep sleep. Now, people say, well, I'm not aware in deep sleep. Well, like, what do you mean you're not aware in deep sleep? Right? Deep sleep is an experience of nothing, right? And people are like, I don't have a memory of what happened in deep sleep. Well, there's no memory to have. It's an experience of nothing. I mean, what memory would you have in deep sleep when there's nothing there to memorise? Do you know what I mean? Like, memory is typically a process of this state of consciousness. So when you're in other states of consciousness, that quality of memory doesn't necessarily exist. So if there's an experience of nothing, why would you have any memory to, do you know what I mean, to recognise that? But you're still aware, because if you're aware in deep sleep, right, if you weren't aware in deep sleep, right, it would be like you just suddenly wake up, right? However, when you wake up, you've been aware, you've been asleep, right? So there must have been a subtle awareness throughout deep sleep in order for you to be aware of it. Do you see what I mean? So you are that extremely subtle quality of awareness, of pure consciousness, right, which witnesses being awake, dreaming, and being asleep. So that's hopefully people can understand that that is the true quality, the true essence of what you really are. I don't really know if I can explain it any simpler, and that this whole facade, physical appearance, emotions, thoughts, personality, act. Right now, it's not to say such things aren't useful, and it's not to say such things aren't nice, right? It's not to say such things can't be an absolute nightmare and they can't be temperamental, because they are. Everything in nature is subject to positive and negative influence. So it's just something to bear in mind. But yeah, it's just kind of trying to negate what changes and to recognise that you are that which witnesses all changing. That or witnesses, all the change that happens within your conscious experience, if you see what I mean. So yeah, so hopefully that's helped people to understand such topics, such a topic. Yeah, well, I don't really know what else to say about that, to be fair. That's all I've got going up here. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully it sheds light, helps people to distance themselves from their own negativity and appreciate the positivity while it lasts, because it doesn't. So don't hold on to it. That would be my advice. Don't identify with that limited, illusory self, and don't hold on to try and hold on to any moment, because you can't hold on to it. Listen to my voice. Try and hold on to the sound of my voice. Right? Try and hold on to a word that I'm saying. Right? You can't do it, because the minute you try to hold on to it, another word is coming out of my mouth. If I keep talking, that is. If I don't keep talking, just listen. But there's still emotion there. You still can't hold on to any of that motion, you know, because it's continually moving. Do you see? Like maybe if that touched you deeply, you perceive such things. If you're not ready to perceive such things, you won't, pretty much. But if you are, that will be like an arrow struck to the heart, and it'll set a flame alight, and you'll start blazing. Pretty much, you'll that deeper inner quality which has been struggling and waiting to come out will have a little bit of space opened up for it to move into and to start shining. So yeah, so hopefully, you know, that's helped people that are interested in such a thing, and I'm gonna leave it there. So have a lovely day, people, and may all be well. So yeah, much love.